Hey guys, and welcome to our review of GeForce Now in 2021, and this is our final review for cloud gaming services that we'll be doing and how they are in the end of 2021 and whether or not you should invest your time in trying one of these and go from there. So in this video we'll be focusing on some of the things that Nvidia GeForce Now has done in 2021, what the state of the cloud gaming service is like right at the end of things, and whether or not it's worthwhile picking up versus something like Google Stadia or Microsoft xCloud. So let's get on with the video and go through some of the things that we really love about the service and some of the things that seem to be holding it back at the moment. Now there have been some pretty major changes in terms of the different subscription models that Nvidia GeForce Now offers this year. So at the beginning of the year it was £4.99 a month or $4.99 per month, but they started to see a massive surge, I assume, in people subscribing to the service. And I guess that's driven by a lot of the high demand for gaming hardware at the moment, so they saw an opportunity to increase their prices. Now when they first did this, we really figured it would kind of be almost the death of the service, especially compared to some of the other subscription models that you can get at the moment, but things have pretty much gone from strength to strength. So we get to the end of the year and Nvidia GeForce Now is a more expensive version than what it launched at, but it does have a lot of benefits over than obviously what it launched at as well. The big standout is that now is probably one of the most versatile services that you can get when it comes to cloud gaming. So let's start off with the good. Basically, like I just mentioned there, it's one of the most versatile services that you can get when it comes to cloud gaming. Stadia previously pretty much offered this in the fact that you could stream in 1080, you could stream in 4K, and it didn't really matter too much what devices you were using. It offered that support for higher resolutions. Nvidia GeForce Now, up until very recently, was limited at maximum of 1080p 60 frames per second. So if you were used to that higher end PC gaming, although you might get some of that graphics, you wouldn't necessarily get the resolution. Recently, they fixed this and they introduced a new tier, which is their 3080 tier. So you can now stream up to 4K 60 frames per second. However, there is a caveat of that, and we'll get onto that in a bit. And you can also have that higher refresh rate as well if you stream at 1440p resolution. So if you are a PC gamer and you have that higher end monitor and you're used to the high refresh rates, or you want to take advantage of the higher resolution, then that is going to be available to you through this. If you're just more of a casual gamer who wants to be able to do your PC gaming on something like a mobile phone, a tablet or something like that, or you're just not too bothered about the high refresh rates or the resolution, there is a lower tier option available for you as well. So I suppose when it comes to those availability of options with cloud gaming, Nvidia GeForce Now offers the most. There is a free tier, which is fantastic for anyone who just wants to try it, and you get up to an hour of gaming sessions and a basic gaming PC that it'll stream from. There's then the mid tier that will offer up to 1080p resolution and up to 6 hours of game time, and that'll put it on a pretty decent gaming PC. And then there's the 3080 tier, which obviously costs the most, but it's up to 4K resolution. So really when it comes to options, Nvidia GeForce Now offers a really good range of those. However, it does come at a higher price, which again, we'll get onto in the future. When it comes to the actual cloud gaming streaming experience, Nvidia GeForce Now is pretty damned fantastic. It's not quite, or at least in our experience, it's not quite up to that Stadia level at the moment. Stadia offers really beautiful and smooth gameplay, but it is very close, and when it works, it is better than Google Stadia. Recently I've been using the 3080 tier and playing through The Witcher 3, and when that game is working, it is fantastic. The streaming experience that I've had is miles above and beyond something that Stadia can achieve. However, it's not quite as consistent, so that is something to bear in mind. Up until very recently, if I was going to play at my desk, I would always load up my gaming PC because that just offered me the best experience. However, on the 3080 tier, we took Chorus out for a spin, and it looked so much better being streamed through GeForce Now than what I could get on my gaming PC, which was the very first time that had ever happened. So when it comes to that streaming experience, when it works, which it does the vast majority of the time, Nvidia GeForce Now looks fantastic, streams fantastically, and it's very smooth. There are just some odd little hiccups that seem to pop up here and there, which I don't necessarily get on something like Google Stadia. However, the improvement that has happened this year is just mind-boggling. It is a really good and smooth experience, and it's definitely only going to get better from here. Another thing to absolutely love about Nvidia GeForce Now is just the flexibility in how it allows you to play. If you want to play at a PC with a keyboard and a mouse, you can do that. You're not limited just using a controller like you are on xCloud. If you want to use a controller, you can do that, and you can hook those up to different devices like an iPhone or a tablet. And if you want to use a touchscreen, then you can use your touchscreen as well. Granted, it doesn't offer as many customization options as I would like to see on something like a touchscreen. I wish we had something closer to what Steam offers, but we still don't have that on GeForce Now. But if you don't have a controller to hand and you have a touchscreen device, then you can do that. So when it comes to the versatility of how you can play on this device, it's really, really good, and the latency just isn't really there. The final thing that I still absolutely love about GeForce Now is the flexibility and how it allows you to play your own games library. So as a PC gamer, or a historic PC gamer anyway, I have a massive library of games on Steam, and the great thing is a lot of those games are available to stream through GeForce Now, so I don't have to buy them again, and I don't have to like double dip. So if I went on Stadia, I'd have to rebuy those games. If I played it on my Switch, I'd have to rebuy those games. But with GeForce Now, I already have them, and when a Steam sale comes up, it's just fantastic for that. You can also link up your Epic Games library as well, and a lot of free games seem to go through that, which you can then stream onto GeForce Now. If you have a Ubisoft Plus subscription as well, you'll be able to link that up in these settings, and that way if you are into Ubisoft games, there are just a ton of them, and there's absolutely loads you'll be able to play on GeForce Now. I really like Nvidia's model when it comes to this. I'm a massive fan of Game Pass Nextcloud just because it offers so much variety in the games that I can play. I really like the way that Stadia offers that kind of storefront and a traditional console-like experience, but for me, as a historic PC gamer, being able to access all of those games that I've got and just play them on the cloud and have access to them whenever I need to, it's a massive win. Especially in this day and age when it is harder to get things like GPUs and stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of people out there who can't buy the latest hardware just because it's out of reach in terms of price because of those damn dirty scalpers. And ultimately, something like GeForce Now will still let them do their PC gaming and not have to fork out massive amounts up front. It also means if you are wanting to dip your toes into PC gaming, but you don't want to fork out that massive amount that it might cost you, you can do that and try it out and see how it goes for you. So there is an absolute lot to love about Nvidia GeForce Now at the end of 2021. They've fixed a lot of issues, their streaming quality has gotten better and better, and the versatility and options and the way you can play is pretty much up there right now. However, there's also quite a few things that I just dislike about the service, and that first one is the cost of it. It seems to be increasing quite quickly at the moment. So starting out at $4.99 a month at the beginning of this year, and that has very quickly changed to $8.99, so that is more expensive, and that's for the standard tier. However, if you want to get the 3080 tier, it's then going to cost you $89.99 for 6 months, so that price quickly creeps up. Versus something like Stadia, that if you subscribe to their Pro subscription, you'll get up to 4K streaming, and you'll also get access to their library of games that they're offering through the Pro subscription. It's also worthwhile bearing in mind that if you do go for the 3080 tier, you also have to have an Nvidia Shield TV in order to take advantage of the 4K. You can't stream your games in 4K resolution to a 4K monitor or display without having that Nvidia Shield TV, so you need that additional hardware as well. Now granted, the Nvidia Shield TV is an absolutely fantastic device, but it's another thing that you'd need to buy to get that 4K streaming. To be fair, it's not something that's bothered me too much because my monitor supports 1440. However, if you are in that market for 4K gaming, it's worthwhile just bearing in mind, and it is a bit of an odd thing. Surely Nvidia GeForce Now can figure out a way to stream 4K to just any monitor, but I guess only time will tell. The other really frustrating thing, and this is definitely worthwhile bearing in mind, is the games library. Nvidia were doing a pretty good job sort of midway through this year, right up until, I guess, Q4, when we saw a drop off in the amount of games that were coming across to the service. Lately, they've been doing a very good job of shouting about how many new titles are coming across to Nvidia GeForce Now, but a lot of the time, they're ones that are already available on Steam, and they're just saying, well, we've now got it, and if you've got it on Epic, you can stream it. And they're kind of double dipping like that, which just seems a little bit disingenuous, I guess. There's also the issue of games sometimes just disappearing from the library. So a lot of the time I'll look at my library and I'll have like 81 games available, and then I'll have 80 because a publisher has pulled those. Now granted, this isn't necessarily an issue with Nvidia GeForce Now or anything that they're doing, it's more about the publishers and them not wanting to have their games on the platform, but it is worthwhile bearing in mind. A lot of people will go into this thinking that they'll be able to play all of their games on Steam on Nvidia GeForce Now, but that's not how it works, and I really wish that Nvidia would do something about this. There's got to be something they can work out in the background with publishers to get more of those games onto the library. They've been doing a pretty good job up until this quarter when they started really pushing for the 3080 tier, and then we started to see 5 or 6 games a week getting pushed onto the service versus like the 11 we were getting beforehand. Even if they charged a higher price, I'm pretty sure a lot of us would be willing to pay it to get access to more of our games, but it doesn't seem to be necessarily happening at the moment. So even though their streaming quality is great, being able to link it up with Steam is a fantastic thing. yeah, it's just frustrating that our games just aren't there. Again, not necessarily Nvidia's problem, it's more of a publisher problem, but from a consumer standpoint, that is still an issue that hurts this service. The final thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to Nvidia GeForce Now is just their user interface versus the others like xCloud and versus something like Google Stadia. They're really easy to navigate. You know what games are available to play on xCloud, and you know how to buy games on Stadia. They've got a really clean and easy to navigate storefront. With GeForce Now, syncing up your library and kind of navigating to the games that you've already got access to, it's really easy to do. It doesn't really kind of throw any spanners in the work. However, buying new games isn't necessarily the easiest thing to somebody who's just getting into this. If you didn't have a PC and you weren't too familiar with Steam and stuff like that, and you signed up to Nvidia GeForce Now thinking you're going to get all of these games and access to a storefront, you just don't get it. It's really difficult. You can't just buy your games through Nvidia GeForce Now. It can be really frustrating because there's not a storefront on Nvidia GeForce Now. You have to navigate to Epic Games or you have to navigate to Steam. I know it's not the end of the world and most people will figure it out, but it's an extra step. And it's definitely not the most user-friendly for newcomers to this service. I wish they would just do something where they could integrate those storefronts into the Nvidia GeForce Now service, so that way if I have a feeling that actually I do want to play one of these games or buy it, I could just do it through the application itself, rather than having to close it down, go off to Steam, buy my game, then sync it up. Just a little thing, but it's a frustrating one anyway. So at the end of 2021, the question is Nvidia GeForce Now worthwhile playing? Now, I will say that when it comes to cloud gaming, one of the great things about this is because you're not having to fork out a massive amount up front, it's always worthwhile trying out different ones to see how they work for you. They've all pretty much got a free trial, or they've got a free subscription option where you can at least try it out and see how it works on your hardware, and there is no harm at all in having multiple of these services. That's what we do, and we love to kind of jump in depending what game's available on what library. However, GeForce Now itself at the moment is a really compelling offer. Up until very recently, it was always something I used to play on my mobile phone or my tablet so I could get access to my Steam library. However, instead of booting up my PC a lot of the time, I've been playing on my MacBook, which is plugged into my monitor, using my normal gaming mouse and keyboard, and the experience has been just as good, if not better, than using my actual gaming PC. So hats off to Nvidia for that. If they can get more of those games that are on my Steam library onto Nvidia GeForce Now, it would absolutely be a no-brainer that this is well and truly worthwhile using. If you are a historic PC gamer and you've got access to a load of those games on Steam or Epic Games, then it is worthwhile trying out and see how it works for you. Nvidia GeForce Now is delivering pretty much the most versatile options in terms of the resolution options for you, subscription options for you, and hardware that you can use with the devices. If you want to play it on your PC, you can do that. Pretty much anything that has an internet browser is going to support Nvidia GeForce Now. If you want to get hardware, it's available on things like your Android TVs, you can get an Nvidia Shield TV, you can play it on your mobile phones, your tablets, pretty much any internet connected device right now seems to be able to play Nvidia GeForce Now. So it is well and truly up there as one of the best cloud gaming experiences you can have. Give it a try. There is a free tier available and you can play for up to an hour and then kind of log back out and log back in again and you can play for another hour. It's well and truly worthwhile using. Offers some fantastic gaming experiences, and if the games that you want to play are available on Nvidia GeForce Now, it's one of the best ways to play it. Let us know your thoughts on Nvidia GeForce Now. Is it the one you've been using, or have you been using another one, or do you use kind of multiple ones like we do? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, it'd be really interesting to know. If you've got any questions at all, throw them down there as well. Hope that video's helped some of you out there. If it has, hit that like and subscribe button and come along for some more cloud gaming content. We'll be back in the future. Bye!